morning, my friends. Tuesday morning here on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky In The Cave, kicking off with this one from Afriqua. This one, Ndeke Solo, a world exclusive. Here for the channel, going to let you know exactly what we've got going on today in just a few seconds or so. Out to the early morning locked-in crew.
My friend, it is true.
Stick around and hit that subscribe button. Oh yeah.
We share all the time.
Out to the crew in the chat nice and early. Out to JD, Samdi, 2 a.m. over there. Where are you based? Out to French as well. Out to my silent listener crew. As I said before, hit that subscribe button. Hit like on the video as well. Let's get it popping this morning. California in the building. Oh, yes. That's a man like JD Samdi. That's what I like to hear. We're going international these days. International guests. I know we've got a little South African crew as well. That's what I like to hear. Cubcam TV, baby. Sounds of Afriqua on that one, and Ndeke Solo. That one is our current world exclusive. We've got that one first. No one else in the world is able to play that currently. That's how we're running things here on Cubcam TV. Out to my early morning locked-in crew. As I said before, JD Samdi and French are my 2 early morning chat people. If you are locked in, please do get into the chat and have a bit of a conversation with us. We're going to be talking about loads of different things today. Of course, we've got some amazing guests on the way. You may have also noticed, my regular listeners, that we have now got some new advertising bits going on. So here we go. You can check out the podcasts via the link in the top right-hand corner, which I'm very happy with, to be honest with you. I'm loving the fact we're able to do stuff like that now. Just taking the show a bit forward, taking it a bit more further forward, doing different things with it, looking at different things we can look into doing. And there we go. You can also see today's guests are going to be Trends and Drinks on Me. It's going to be a wicked show. We're going to be looking, obviously, at Trends' work with Mean Streets Records. They've got a new release out this week, which we're currently in the process of promoting through over at 3000.co.uk. We're going to be talking to him about the other bits he's got going on. Obviously, his impact in grime over the years, and just everything else he's got going on. It's going to be a really good conversation. It's definitely one I'm looking forward to doing. Obviously, Trends is of that kind of level in grime now, where he's at one of the sort of top tier producers that's floating around in the genre. So it's going to be another really good interview to have on the show. As well as that, we're also going to be talking to Drinks on Me, an up and coming producer. Focusing in UKG and bass music, but even though he's only been going for not that long, shall we say, he's already been remixing stuff of AC Slater's. He's been working internationally. I think he's through to the semi-finals of the Kiwi Cup as well, so we're going to be talking about that. So two very impactful guests this morning, which I'm very, very excited to have the conversation with. As I said before, though, please do make sure you are subscribing to the channel. As you can see there, we've got another little button that flashes up quite nicely in regards to that, so please do make sure that you are subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. I know a lot of the listeners in are already subscribed, so there we go. We're going to keep the good vibes rolling this morning, though. We do have loads of different topics to discuss. We're going to be talking about a social distancing cafe that makes coffee using robots. So there we go. They come out and deliver the coffee to you. We're also going to be talking about this new thing that's going on with Instagram, which is basically stopping you play music on Instagram. It's stopping copyrighted music being played. So this shall be interesting. There's loads of stuff to discuss. For the time being, though, let's get into some fresh bangers. Yesterday was Monday, so that's the day I get sent over my Juno download reviews, the tracks that I'm going to be reviewing throughout the week and that go up on the website at the end of the week. So I've been sent through a ton of bangers, and I do often sneak a couple of the new ones in. This one, brand new from Escape Roots, Dubwise flavors on this tune. It's a absolute banger, I've got to say. Out to everyone over at Nice Up Records. This is being released via them. We've got a really good relationship with Nice Up Records. We often get guests in. I might even try and blag them to see if we can get Escape Roots on the show, because that'd be amazing. But yeah, let's get into this one. This one is One Step at a Time, featuring Black Warrior. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave, and we're in the building till 10:30.
Chat man a chat too wrong. Yeah, burn them scissors and go. Wanna burn down Babylon. Hey, yeah, man a Black Warrior and them one step at a time.
So we like to hear French.
Man a chat too wrong.
Out to the subscribing crew.
One step at a time. Well, me say me serious like a judge. Well, me now waste no time. One step at a time. Well, yeah, man a yeah too wrong. Tell them this. One step at a time. Yo, man a yeah too. Man a yeah too wrong. With me giddy and spear then. Remember say me tell you say me don't got no fear then. When you see me no bother one like you are run then. After me not run from me bubble turban then. Me bubble bingy jump and with the bingy man a chant then. Remember say your righteousness a that him bring then. King Selassie order we never leave it then. A judgment ball for the wicked them. One step at a time. Chat me a chat you rum. Tell you this. One step at a time. Rasta man upon them sisters and them come. Wanna pay know this then. One step at a time. Man a step through Babylon. Tell you this. One step at a time. Cause I ya dingy man. You want ya too wrong. One step at a time. Well I had man I ya too wrong. Wanna pay know this say. One step at a time. Hey, right we are no waste no time. Yo, when the Gideon start and the Rasta man a rot. When the wicked have to run out of the bingy man part. Of righteousness through the bingy man a talk. That's why Eden have to drop down and broad. So me look to the east, cause the truth me go seek. Me lift up on my foot and just go trample the beast. Because me done show them say me strong and me no weak. Me go burn parasite and thief.
This one, wicked tune from the Escape Roots crew. This one Step at a Time, featuring Black Warrior. Got some new subscribers in today, so we are going to be explaining how the show works in just a second as we get into a news article. Okay, let this one run out though, got about a minute left on it. Fresh reggae cuts, man, that's what we like to hear.
One step at a time, burn up them scissors and come, Africa me go. That's why enough of them get dead out of grass. Them fresh run fast, but of them come last. Now inna the bingy man class. Tell them a yard boy at the class the border. Yo, Bobo Shanty only 1, 2 order. Until Babylon no get out of order. King Selassie pitney them never let go the order. Well, rubber dub inna me chat me sing loving on me child. Heart have to clean when you're in a the child. You have to firm like a rock in a the child. Remember Sister Gideon child. One step at a time. Chat man a chat churro. Me a tell you no. One step at a time. Burn man a burn them scissors and comb. One step at a time. A chat Baba Shanti, a chat churro. One step at a time. The Rasta man a burn them scissors and comb.
Wicked stuff, that one. Escape Routes. I'm very happy to have that one a little bit early. Out to my Juno download crew and, of course, all the team over at Nice Up Records putting that one together. When it drops, it's going to be one of the most played albums that I run. It's going to be an amazing kind of feat for a reggae producer and reggae crew as well. The whole layup of the album, it's amazing. I think it's 10 tracks, 10 fantastic collaborations. Really, really cool stuff. So, yeah, there we go. Featuring Black Warrior as well. Again, wicked collaboration. The full thing is made up of these sort of futuristic digidub collaborations that work really, really well. And in general, it's just a really wicked tune. So there we go. Moving forward, let's get into our first bit of news. But before that, let's run out through how this show actually runs, because I know we've got some new listeners in this morning. So, good morning, Papa D. How are we doing this morning, my friend? So what we're going to be looking at today is multiple news items. We're going to be looking at 2 interviews with our 2 guests, as well as also playing brand new music. So that's how we like to run this show. The show runs from 10 till 11:30. I normally run a breakfast show over on Trickstar Radio in Brighton, which is the leading DAB station down here for underground and electronic music. Obviously, because of the current COVID situation, I'm unable to get in. So what I'm doing is launching this channel and pushing this channel further forward as a way of continuing to stream and continuing to do broadcasting stuff, just so I don't get a bit rusty, and also build up a bit of an extra platform, you know. So when we're posting videos of the shows and stuff, there is a genuine there's a bit more of a platform to post stuff through, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a legitimate understanding and well thought out music platform from which we can broadcast in the future and do live streams here and there as well. You know, that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, what we're going to look at now is our first news item of the day, and this is the headline saying Instagram add a new pop-up to warn against using copyrighted music. Now this is a tough one, because obviously we're at a period of time now where Instagram clashes and things like that are becoming like the main thing. It's what the main thing people are watching of an evening. So for Instagram to now turn around and go, yeah, no more copyrighted music. This says to me someone in an executive office somewhere has gone, nah, enough of that. We're not having any more of that. And I saw someone post this on Twitter saying it really is cutting off what's the phrase, cutting off a limb to spite their face or something like that. I don't know what it is, but basically it's a bit of a dumb thing to do. Instagram has introduced a new pop-up to warn users when it detects they are using copyrighted music in a live stream. This comes to us from DJ Mag, who have been smashing it for the last couple of months, I've got to say. The new pop-up is designed to give streamers a chance to stop or change the music before their stream is muted or simply taken down. How much time the user will have is not specified. So basically they've gone, they hit you with this little red pop-up, and it's a red pop-up. I can see it on my screen. It's a little red pop-up, and it goes, yeah, your stream's about to be taken down unless you change the song. But you don't know how long you've got. You could be literally on a build-up towards a drop, and it goes, no, you're not allowed that. We don't know when it's going to turn off. We don't know when you're going to have it shut down. This is really bad, to be honest with you. I reckon you should get strikes. A strike system would work. I understand, to an extent as well, not being able to restream copyrighted music for your own benefit. I can understand that. That's what radio's for at the end of the day. It's what platforms like, I mean, YouTube's quite on it with copyright material. Obviously, you can't monetize any videos that have copyrighted music on them, so you have to be quite careful with that. Obviously, we're not really at that stage yet. We're still quite early in our development as a channel, so it's not really something we've had to worry about. But moving forward, it definitely is. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's very... The fact they're kind of going, your stream's going to be removed, by the way, and then they run off, and then you don't really know anything about what's happening. You're there like, what do you mean my stream's going to be shut down? How long have I got? Can I play another tune? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little bit sneaky, rather than just going... I think a strike system would work better, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, in a new post on their website, Instagram have said their update includes updates. No, they've said their new updates include. That's a weird bit of grammar. Making notifications clearer and surfacing notifications earlier to live broadcasters to give people time to adjust their streams and avoid interruptions. If we detect they may be approaching our limitations, and if your video is muted or blocked, we'll make it clear what the actions have been and how you can stop the interruption. Okay. I mean, that makes it make more sense. Obviously, beforehand, there wasn't even a warning. It'd just go, and now they're getting warnings, which I suppose is fair. I'm probably looking at that in the wrong way. I'm probably going, well, why is it that? But yeah, the increase in live streaming as venues and clubs around the world remain closed has undoubtedly prompted Instagram to make the guidelines clearer and assist users who are frustrated with the takedowns and mutes. So actually, I'm quite in the wrong here. This is very much an article about them saying this is what we're doing to help the situation rather than make it worse. So fair enough, that's my fault. If they're taking steps toward making it better, fair enough. I still think, though, a point system or a strike system would make more sense rather than them just going, oh, it's going to be muted any second. You know what I mean? I think the best way to do it would be a strike system. So then you actually have a bit of notice. You can go, right, I can play 1 or 2 more tunes, and then everyone almost gets like credits. And then for Instagram, if they wanted to make money down the line, you could buy like a PRS license with Instagram, and I don't know what that would be. It'd probably be like, I don't know, like £10-12. I don't know what a PRS license is would be with Instagram. I think it'd probably be based depending on the size of your following. But then from that, you could then play all the music you wanted if you had the PRS license. So I think there's definitely things you can do with this. But yeah. Anyway, moving forward, we're keeping the vibes quite double-wise this morning because I've been sent so many good albums that we're going to run. This next one coming from Tipper Irie and OBF. This one is off OBF's brand new album, which does drop this Friday as well. I've got it via Juno download. So this is a bit of a banger. So we're going to get into this one now. Out to my locked-in crew this morning. Please do make sure you are subbing to the channel, of course. We're going to hit it with one of these beautiful little buttons down here that goes... boom, there we go. Subscribe to the channel, there we go. And also, as well, for those that aren't aware, you can listen back to the show via the podcast, which is available, as you can see in the top right-hand corner. That side, even. I need to get my angles right. Is it there? Yeah, it's there. I need to get my angles right. But yeah, you can listen back via Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud for the shows. So there we go. But yeah, do subscribe to the channel, and we will go from there. Let's get into this one next, then. This one goes by the name of I'm an African. Tipper Irie alongside OBF. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And you know I know where I'm from. Tipper Irie, OBF. And me sing say, I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grew up in a London, so you know I know where I'm coming from. I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grew up in a London, so you know I know where I'm coming from. I know where I'm coming from. I know where I'm going. It's a positive energy. I keep on showing respect myself, respect my roots, and respect my ancestors. Can't forget Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and Robert Nesta. Teach us to educate our sisters and our brother. Teach us to unify and support one another. One God, one aim, and one destiny. How that's the way we want in our community. So, well, I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican.
Tipper Irie on this one, featuring OBF on the production. This one is I'm an African, and it's on OBF's new album, which drops this Friday.
I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican, and we grew up in a London, so you know I know where I'm coming from the natural continent, the motherland with natural resources, minerals and diamonds. Anywhere you plant, well, you know it have to grow. Africa, it is a place where everybody want go, like Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Lagos, Nigeria, Nairobi, Kenya, Azerbaijan in the Ivory Coast, and them the place that me want visit the most, cause my parents were captured, taken to Jamaica by the British and the Spanish colonial masters in 1962. Them get them independence, and them fly go a Britain for some pound and pence. So
I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grow up in a London, so you know I know where I'm coming from. I'm a black man, I'm an African, and my parents are Jamaican, and I grow up in a London, so you know I know
where I'm coming from London, place and the cockney slang, place and the lovers rock, grime and jungle is, place for the Roman queen, they are Buckingham, fish and chips and egg and bacon, rainy, cloudy, enough taxation, house of common and enough politician, and a lot of institutional racism, cause I'm a black man, I'm an African.
Sounds of Tipper Irie on this one. OBF on production. Wicked tune. Very futuristic as well. Something very very catchy, isn't it? Yeah, out to Frenchie saying exactly the same thing. This one's going to be stuck in my head. It gets stuck in your head, I've got to say. We love playing earworms here on Brekky. It's definitely something that we pride ourselves on. It's bringing earworms to the table, shall we say. Let's have a little look at the next bit of news on our register then, shall we? This bit coming from Netflix. Obviously, with the current scenario surrounding everyone having to be stuck inside for the time being, we are seeing obviously a massive surge in things like Netflix, in Disney Plus, in I don't know, Hulu. I don't know what the other ones are, but all of these platforms, Amazon Prime as well. You can watch films on Amazon Prime, but all of these platforms that basically supply video streaming, we're seeing a massive increase in their in the amount of people that are using them. So we're actually seeing them take up a lot more space on the internet. Netflix has come out and said it will soon start cancelling subscriptions on inactive accounts. The company says it aims to stop customers paying for a service they don't use and will contact inactive account holders to see whether they want to remain subscribed. If Netflix doesn't hear back, they will automatically cancel the membership. Now, I think this is a really good thing. Given the fact everyone's about to be a little bit worse off money-wise, realistically, I think this is actually quite a good thing for Netflix. Obviously, for them, it takes up extra bandwidth, and it doesn't necessarily contribute to their views or their analytics, if you know what I mean. Like, they're getting a bit of money from people, but I mean, at the end of the day, the analytics are what they can then sell advertising on with and all those things there. So, in a blog post on the site, Eddie Wu from Netflix Innovation wrote about the new system. The blog says, you know that sinking feeling when you realise you signed up for something but haven't used it in ages. At Netflix, the last thing we want is people paying for something they're not using. So they're going for a very much a kind of human approach here. And out of all the companies, to be fair, Netflix seem to be moderately humanized in the way they approach things, rather than an Amazon or or a Spotify, which seem to be very much behind closed doors. Netflix seem to be a little bit more open in what they do. But yeah, they've said, so we're asking everyone who has not watched anything on Netflix in a year since they joined to confirm they want to keep their membership, and we'll do the same for anyone who stopped watching for more than 2 years. So there we go. It means a lot of people, they may lose out on a fair chunk of money, but it means people aren't paying for something they don't want, and there's not a load of inactive users clogging up the feed, because I'm sure they don't want inactive users. They'd rather have people who are paying for it and using the system, because then it contributes to their, as I was saying, it contributes to their analytics and the things they're doing with extra hand movements like that with the flashes. But yeah, members will start seeing these emails or in-app notifications this week. If they don't confirm that they want to keep subscribing, Netflix will automatically cancel their subscription. If anyone changes their mind later on, it's really easy to restart a Netflix account. It doesn't take too long to set one up, to be honest with you. The blog also says that those who leave and then decide to rejoin within the next 10 months will retain all of their preferences, and watch lists will still be stored and able to be accessed again. So there we go. But yeah, preferences and watch lists will all be able to be restored, and the new system applies only to accounts that have not been used in a year or more. So there we go. Interesting stuff. And I think when we're looking at this, I think Netflix are trying to do a good thing here, being realistic. I don't want to be paying for services that I'm not actually using, and I know there's 2 or 3 that I'm signed up with that I will never realistically use, and it's just that thing of, it's just such an effort to go and cancel things. But there we go. Right then, what we're going to do is we're going to play another couple of bangers, and then we're going to get on the phone with Man Like Trends, which I'm really looking forward to. For the time being, though, let's get into this new one from Telemakers and Killer P. This one goes by the name of Wickedest Ting, and it's an interesting one because it's the first time I've heard an out-and-out grime tune with obviously so many different influences involved in it be released via High Focus. This is a really interesting kind of take on what High Focus are doing, because they're going to be obviously looking down a brand new direction. This is a completely new area for them. So yeah, really interesting stuff. This one is out now. It dropped on Friday, I believe. But yeah, let's get into this one. Hit that subscribe button, as I've said before. Make sure you are liking the video. Everyone locking in right now, everyone who is locked in, hit the like button on the video. Go on, do us a favor. It makes my life so much easier, makes the video more reachable, and it means more people are able to actually lock in and see it. So there we go. It does everyone a favor. If you're enjoying it, please do hit that like button. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's Cubcam TV.
step in a some boy face like pounded yam. Me want to know what sound he's from. Even my man I can do on this song. Look, you can't go down this stand. Man a gangster who don't know where me from. Bricks out the outlet where the people hold it. Me now figure it out Clarendon. Me a pen, me no play pen with man. Me now forget Bounty Valley. Man them hear me lyric till them sick of me. No gal a link me a tickle me. Can't get rid of me. Me have the yard mentality. No bumper one can't manage me. Much less damage me. Cause when me a speak, man a bad man so me speak with clarity. So they come and try this me. But I will see you later. Defend me native country. Some boy better know that's Jamaica. No one more world can't this bad man. Gunshot bust but that miss bad man. Boy better know say we are one plan. We are the wickedest thing from Jamaica. Some little fool try this me. But I will see you later. Defend me native country. Some boy better know that's Jamaica. No one more world can't this bad man. Gunshot bust but that miss bad man. Boy better know say we are one plan. We are the wickedest thing from Jamaica.
Yo, seems like you don't know your place. Where you come from?
Right, I know, and we have the wickedest past men style in a gram with patois. Me blaze my chalawa. Me want to hear my tune in a Europe, Japan and Canada. Me have no follower. Chase on masker style, I'm mad enough. Them a say them a bad man, them no mad enough. Me have me cemetery warriors ready for them up, slap him up and clap him up. Have money in your style, but you not have enough house. Logan Sama, guns and be armor. Put it on drama, nobody not try.
Crazy flavors on this one.
Shot in a face.
Telemakers and Killer P.
This is the one who walk right. From a boy this me, boy I go die. Just like a frisbee, a brain I go fly. Call them feet, say them God going far from the sky. Say them a god man, why did you lie? Tell them boy nothing try. Test killer for villa and them now go die. Too many man a tell lie. Dislocate eye socket from eye. Sometime me I wonder why them a cry for me. This the killer for villa, you know you a go die. Shut up, he's gonna boss. We can't fly from me, mama just up in a black fry, fish a fry. Feel a real expenses high. Man them fi know I and I killer man a one zero sky. When I get mad, me put skull in the sky. Mama a go ball and cry. Sunday in a the casket, but the fucker only have one eye. Tell a pussy well don't try. So they come and try this me, but I will see you later. Defend me native country. Some boy better know that's Jamaica. No one more world can this bad man. Gunshot bust but that miss bad man. Boy better know say we are one plan. We are the wickedest thing from Jamaica. Some little fool try this me, but I will see you later. Defend me native country. Some boy better know that's Jamaica. No one more world can this bad man. Gunshot bust but that miss bad man. Boy better know say we are one plan. We are the wickedest thing from Jamaica.
How are we all doing this morning, my friends? Out to the new lockers in. As I've said before, those people who are locking in for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button. As you can see, we're encouraging you to do that now. But yeah, this is Brekky In The Cave. Welcome, my friends. Welcome this morning to what has been a fabulous show so far. Been running some amazing new music. Obviously, we've had that world exclusive from Afriqua, which we're going to be running on a regular basis throughout the course of this week. I'm very grateful for them for sending that over. But then also more experimental stuff like this, obviously from Telemakers, a high focus producer who's been working behind the scenes for a while, I believe, and more recently he's been putting stuff out with his name on the front of it. But I believe, as far as I'm aware, this is just a single, Mispa. I believe this is just a single, unless I've got something completely missed. I received it as a single via the press list, so maybe I've missed something. But as far as I'm aware, it's just a single. It might be featured on an album at some point, though. You never know. But yeah, there we go. Killer P and Telemakers on that one. But yeah, in a minute we're going to be jumping on the phone with Man Like Trend. So I'm just going to do a little news nugget before we do that, because I need to get his number loaded into my phone. Have you seen what Burger King are doing? Because this is ridiculous. If I'm reading this right, I'm just going to run through this article quickly because it looks absolutely stupid. Burger King unveil unique plans to encourage social distancing in their restaurants. Burger King has come up with a playful... You know, whenever a professional international company says playful, something stupid is about to happen. A playful idea to make sure their customers are keeping their distance from each other whilst eating in their restaurant. Social distancing crowns. That's where we are. They are novelty hats designed to make sure people sit 6 feet away from each other at all times. The hats have just been unveiled in Germany, and essentially these are massive Burger King sombreros that are 6 feet wide. Are they 6 feet wide? Or are they 2 meters wide? What on earth is going on here? Wow. Yeah, this is, I don't even know how to bring this up on the screen, to be honest with you. I'm going to try and set my studio mode up quickly so we can see this. But I'm looking through this article now, and it looks utterly ridiculous. Oh, that's not the right thing to be clicking on. There we go. Previous images from previous shows. But yeah, looking through this, it's an absolute madness, man. Like, the whole thing of it is looking ridiculous. They're just 6 foot wide images. I'm going to put the link from the article into the chat, just because I can't get it up on my screen. But this is an absolute Madness. Have a look at that article I've just put in the chat. It's via GRM Daily. I still say Grime Daily. That's quite bad, but there we go. Let's jump into another banger, because that's apparently Burger King's plan to solve this worldwide epidemic. I don't know anymore. I just do not know. Let's jump into this one then from Toph. This one is 1v1 on Rust. It goes by the name of that. It's Toph on the production and the vocaling and the engineering as well. So we're going to get into this one and then get on the phone with a man like Trent. So don't go anywhere, guys. The first of our two guests is going to be on the way in just a second.
But 3 lefts do, so I've left you. Andrew, I'm not sneezing, I'm just getting sick of all these whack you. Said 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 lefts do, so I've left you. Andrew, I'm not sneezing, I'm just getting sick of all these whack yous. Cause the level I'm at, they wanna get to too. Got more talent than Bet 2-2. If you wanna act tough, then it's 1v1 Rust. And bruv, you can trust that I'll wreck you too. Level I'm at, they wanna get to too. Got more talent than Bet 2-2. If you wanna act tough, then it's 1v1 Rust. And bruv, you can trust that I'll wreck you. It's T to the T. You don't wanna mess up with a star, that's me. Cause I run a man over in a car, that's me. Cause I get more wheels than a car factory. Yeah, I get more wheels than a Nissan GT or an Audi TT. I'm a rowdy TG and I get more wheels than humans have since 3500 BC. It's T on the ridididin from LD to didididin. Try cash me didididin. You'll get B to didididin. It's T on the ridididin from LD to didididin. Try cash me didididin. You'll get B to didididin. And I do a change, you can't call man Django. Can go in a daddy dance, no can go. Mango, get a partner, you can't skank on your own. It takes 2 to tango. I do a change, you can't call man Django. Can go in a daddy dance, no can go. Mango, get a partner, you can't skank on your own. It takes 2 to tango. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 lefts do, so I've left you. Andrew, I'm not sneezing, I'm just getting sick of all these whack you. Said 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 lefts do, so I've left you. Andrew, I'm not sneezing, I'm just getting sick of all these whack yous. Cause the level I'm at, they wanna get to too. Got more talent than Bet 2-2. If you wanna act tough, then it's 1v1 Rust. And bruv, you can trust that I'll wreck you too. Level I'm at, they wanna get to too. Got more talent than Bet 2-2. If you wanna act tough, then it's 1v1 Rust. And bruv, you can trust that I'll wreck you. Them man there don't get reloaded for their bars. They get reloaded cause the beat they spat over in that moment was hard. We all know they're not hard, yet we all know they're not hard. Don't care if you can shout at a live event. 95% of these weak MCs in the scene have just been parred. If you listen to the lyrics I deliver, it'll make you have a fit like I hit you in the liver. Give a little time to analyze the lines. I write rhymes that bring the heat like when you shiver. If you listen to the lyrics I deliver, it'll make you have a fit like I hit you in the liver. Give a little time to analyze the lines. I write rhymes that bring the
There we go, my friends. That one there coming from Toph, track entitled 1v1 Rust. We are live on Cubcam TV. Out to all the locked-in crew this morning. We're going to be jumping now into a conversation with our first guest of the day. Man like Trends joins us. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning. What's going on?
What's good, man? What's good? Thanks for joining us on the show. This is one we've had locked in for a little while. How are you in general, man? How's things?
Yeah, not too bad. Just doing the lockdown as usual. Just you know what I mean, just surviving out there. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
so,
man.
I'm a pharmacy driver as well. So basically, I've been working since the lockdown started. So.
Oh wow! So you've been pretty much right in the thick of it then.
Yeah, definitely, man. Oh. So, and my missus is a nurse as well. So.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
I've got to say then, hats off to you. So I mean, that's very much very 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 honourable things you've been doing, to be honest with you. And I think it's a credit to you, obviously, with what's been going on. So well obviously, well done. Without sounding patronising in any way, well done. But yeah, I mean, obviously, this is, as I said before, this is a show I've wanted to get locked in for a while. It's an interview I've wanted to get underway for a while, because obviously you're someone who is very much embedded in this sort of like modern grime culture, and obviously the production side of things. You've had a couple of really like sort of monumental instrumentals over the last couple of years or so. So I want to kind of take things back to the beginning to begin with. Like, how long have you been in this sort of production mode for now? Like, when did you first put together a grime tune?
Well, I've been producing since 2006, but I used to, what everybody seems to forget is that I used to make drum and bass before grime.
Oh wow.
I used to be in a duo called Digital Era. Okay. And basically we did that, for like a good 5 or 6 years. And then the guy who I was doing Digital Era with, his name's Tricky. Basically he moved to London. Obviously I'm from Oxford. And I just carried on the name by myself. And obviously I just had this love for grime from the UK garage days. And yeah, I just started making it from around about 2008, and then started properly sending stuff out around about 2010.
Okay, so around 2010 is when the sort of new alias starts to pop. What were the sort of sounds that were inspiring you at the time? Like, who else was in the vicinity?
Well, obviously, see, this is the thing. Because I came from drum and bass, I was like incorporating drum and bass sounds into grime, but I wasn't doing it without any thought.
Okay.
There was no thought process whatsoever. It was just, okay, I just wanted to have a sound, you know what I mean? What worked for me. And everyone just like classes me like doing like aggressive sounds and stuff like that. It just came from the drum and bass era. That's all it did, and it just incorporated in myself. So people like Spooky at the time, people like Spooky. There was producers like D-Set, Teaser, obviously P-Jam, DOK, you know, Terror Danger, Rude Kid. There was a load of them who were making some sort of dark sort of sounds at the time, and I just thought to myself, maybe something might, you know, work here, you know what I mean? But definitely. I'm not going to know until I send it out. So Spooky was the first person to play my beats, to be honest. So.
Wicked, man. I mean, and when you say obviously that sort of drum and bass influence working in, that's definitely something that's still very prominent in your compositions today. We can definitely hear those sort of breaksy drums and bits like that, kind of like rolling through your creations. Like, is that something you kind of now knowing that consciously do, or is it something you just find yourself dragging breaks in as you go?
No, it's just what comes to me at the time, to be honest with you. But I never neglect the drum and bass vibes. I never do, because that's always going to be a part of my history, part of me growing up as well. You know, I was into it from since early rave, going into hardcore jungle techno, then it was jungle, then it was drum and bass. So I've been through the whole spectrum. So it'll always be an impact in my music.
Definitely, man. I think that's a good thing to have. I think something that a lot of producers actually struggle with is staying in touch with their kind of musical roots, which is why I always like to open up these interviews with the sort of rootsy section to try and find out where people come from, their sort of history, their early influences, because then a lot of the time it makes the music they make to an extent now make a lot more sense. And obviously you've definitely got that more sort of breaksy sort of D&B influence in your drum work and in a lot of the sort of synths and sort of like very metallic sounds you use. Like in regards to just an early one, in regards to the sort of sounds you make, would you say your sounds progressed over the last sort of 4 or 5 years?
Yes, and obviously I've grown up. That's played like a major part, because I don't just like dark stuff. I really like a lot of spectrum of a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I really like the smooth sort of 140 grime as well. I've always sort of liked that sort of stuff as well. You know, the actual grime sound itself, I really like that. So I just think there was a time, the release after on Slimzos was the In The Jungle release. I think it was after that then I saw my sound progressing a bit more. Not such more dark, just a bit more of everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, man. And I think obviously grime in general as a genre is definitely something which has progressed sound-wise and sonically over the past sort of 2 to 3 years, especially. Like, we went for a period almost of like, to an extent, forced nostalgia, I feel, for a little while in grime, where everyone was using the original sort of Esky licks and all of those things. That seemed to be so prominent. But I found with your sound and very much that sort of mean streets sort of vibe, you very much have always kind of pursued your own lane. Again, was that an intentional thing?
Well, I mean, the name Mean Streets just goes with the territory, you know what I mean? So it just had to, the label had to have like a meaning behind it. I wanted it to be a label where I was growing up, you know, there was labels out there that I religiously kept buying and wondered what's going to happen next, and you know, like V Recordings and Ram Records and stuff like that through drum and bass. And I just wanted my label just to be like that. I wanted people to look forward to the stuff on Mean Streets. And I think after when we did the Quam EP, I just saw a bit of a difference when I went into the vinyl stage with the Untouchable EP with Boylan, and I just saw the progression from there, and I just thought to myself, you know what, I think it's just time to go in and just make this a real home for this type of music. And I'm so blessed for everybody that's been supporting Mean Streets from when it first started to now. I can't thank you so much. Seriously,
wicked, man. Well, one of the main reasons we've got you on today, obviously, it is it's release week for you. So this is obviously a big week in regards to kind of promotion. There's a lot of things going on. There's sort of two parts to the release going on. We're going to get into one of the tracks off the release first of all, and then we're going to discuss kind of how the release is working in regards to the different parts of it, because it'd be quite cool to discuss that. So we're going to get into this one first. This one comes from yourself. It comes from P-Jam as well. This one goes by the name of Truth or Die. So talk me through how this one came together.
This was made after. So me and P-Jam was at my studio in Oxford, and we just finished making another track, and then we just thought to ourselves, let's just start a quick one before P-Jam had to go and get the coach back. So we started that, and he ended up missing that coach, and we just ended up finishing it. And it was just a real vibe maker. It was just one of those ones, like, obviously, you know in yourself, when you produce yourself, you know, when you get into the vibe of a tune, you don't want to leave it. You just want to carry on.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that one had to be finished. But with the release-wise, we wasn't too sure about it because it was going to go on our joint EP, but we thought it makes sense to go on the trilogy.
Okay, cool. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Trilogy and how that's all come together in just a second. We are live on Cubcam TV. Out to all the locked-in crew this morning. For those on the I think is it Crashbert? Yeah, Crashbert YT. When we aren't on the microphone, we are still speaking off mic, just so you are aware. We're not muted. So we are muted, but we're not muted on purpose. There we go. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. Oh, yes. Well, I tell you what, the chat's going a bit mad for that one. Out to Miss Digest TV, locked in. Out to French as well. JD Sandy, locked in from early. We have got some international listeners locking in right about now as well. So that's good to see. We're here on Cubcam TV. We're live on the line with Man Like Trends. And we're going to be talking about Trilogy, which is obviously the next big release on Mean Streets. Talk to me about Trilogy and how it came together as a concept.
This happened, a discussion Rinse FM. I think it was back in December, I think. We've done a set, me, Boylan, P-Jam, DOK, Silas. I just said to everybody, I was like, we've got a lot of tunes between us that we're just really sat on. And I wanted to do something a bit special for those sort of tunes, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So when January came about, I just thought of the trilogy idea, and I thought, look, let's do this in 3 parts with 3 separate vinyl samplers, which won't go on the digital, but if people do cop the vinyl, they will get the whole EP free. By February, I just got all the tunes in, got it all mastered, as you do, and put the concept together. And man like Oil Gang on the artwork as well came through. Yeah, that's how that come about, to be honest.
Wicked, man. I mean, when it comes to, like, obviously putting a project together with Mean Streets, you've obviously been doing this for a while now. You've been very much a label at the forefront, as you said, of representing this very much darker sound when it comes to grime. Like, how do you choose what tracks to release? Does it depend on the artist? Does it depend on the sound? Like, what's the most important thing?
I just think it's down to my ears. I've spent so many years in raves. I know kind of what, not to sound big-headed or anything, but I kind of know what works in the dance.
Definitely.
To be honest. And perfect example, the DOK Shine EP, that EP was so well thought out. You know, DOK is such a machine. He's got so many tunes that I could have chose from. But those specific 4 tunes, he had the mind frame of Mean Streets in his head to go ahead and make something dark like that. And that's what I want to try and generate and get the best out of the producers on Mean Streets. It's a different style to them. Compared to DOK, that's a sort of a different sort of EP that he would put out himself. So with the trilogy situation, I just thought to myself, do you know what? Every track has to bang, and Volume 2 has to bang more than Volume 1, and Volume 3 has to bang more than Volume 2.
Definitely, man. So I definitely think that's something to achieve.
Yeah, definitely. And I just thought this one is definitely for the connoisseurs, the vinyl connoisseurs, and the people that generally love instrumental music.
Definitely, man. I mean, if we were to look into the full kind of track listing of what's going on with the release, like, to be honest with you, the track listing is almost like an all-stars.
Yeah, I look at it myself sometimes. Well, when I first saw it, I thought to myself, wow, to have these guys on my label is a massive blessing. So yeah, to have Dex, P-Jam, DOK, Boylan, and Silas, newcomer. I'm really happy with the track list. But I'm just going to say this now: if you're going to love Volume 1, then you're definitely going to love Volume 2. Nice. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that this is something that is quite interesting, because obviously from a label point of view, something I'm always interested to look into and kind of see is almost like stories being told within releases. Now, I feel this trilogy project, it definitely is a storyline, you know what I mean? You've got the 3 projects, you've got the different parts to it, different things are being released at different times. Like, when it comes to releases, do you put as much time into sort of like how things are going to play out in regards to like the promo and that sort of side of things, or is it more focused entirely on the sound?
I just think in terms of promotion and stuff like that, I just think like with the vinyl samplers, like everybody knows, you know, doing the vinyl game is not the easiest thing in the world, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world. So doing the vinyl is just something that I actually love and have always wanted to do, so I don't look into that sort of thing. But when it comes to the vinyl process, when I was doing this trilogy, I said to myself, do you know what? It's just got to stand out. The vinyl track, it's got to stand out, and the visual's got to stand out. I want people to buy the whole thing, and I really went into like a lot of deep mode into this trilogy thing since last year. But for it to work, I needed some really good standout music. And like I said to you before, we were sat on so much stuff. We just thought, you know what? This is the time to do it. Let's not waste around and wait for other labels to come and sign stuff and rare. So yeah, I just really wanted to just showcase, you know, the vinyl side and the digital side, and just let people know, like, you know, they're going to get the best offering of 2 things, you know what I mean? So when Volume 2 and Volume 3 comes, I want to buy that too, so they know they're going to get exactly the same treatment what was on Volume 1.
Definitely, man. I mean, it's sick to see, and as I said before, I love a well thought out project. I think it adds so much more to the kind of to everything when you can actually hear from especially from yourself, the enthusiasm you have for the release. That immediately makes me go, I'm now interested in it because you're interested in it. You know what I mean? Kind of looking towards Mean Streets as a whole. Then I'm going to ask a difficult question here. because I like asking difficult questions quite early in the morning because it's my favourite thing to do in the world. If you could pick, between 1 and 3 releases that summarise the Mean Street sound, what would they be? I love getting that noise.
Good question. All right. Okay. So what? You said 2, yeah?
Between 1, 2, or 3 releases, you can have up to 3.
1, 2, or 3. Okay. All right. So to describe the Mean Street sound in a perfect way, I would definitely choose Mr. Wait featuring Jams and Mr. Dubs.
Cool. Which is a classic, I've got to say. That's gone down in sort of grime history as one of like the... You know you have big singles every year. I feel Mr. Wait was definitely one of those singles.
Yeah, well, Jams used to tell me all the time when he was doing on the road bookings and stuff that it just went down so well, and I saw videos and stuff. And yeah, the track did really, really good. It really kind of lifted Mean Streets up to an extent, but I thought to myself, again, yeah, go in a bit more. So, yeah, that one there. I'm gonna definitely have to say Bedlam.
Yeah.
Because, you know, me and Boylan laughed off the idea of doing an album at the start, and then for it to come to life was like one of the best things I've ever done. And yeah, that sound there, when the Trends and Boylan sound is a different sound to Trends and Boylan himself when we go solo.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's another one. And DOK Shine EP, that release there, because all the tracks were really all thought out and put together and stuff. It took a good year to put that EP together. Ghost Rider was accepted in the dubstep scene as well, and for it to get played into both grime and dubstep, it's just such a blessing. And that's what I wanted it to kind of fall into, that category, because Mean Streets does fall into kind of like the dubstep sort of sound as well.
Definitely.
As well as grime. So I really wanted that to happen, and us being at Outlook Festival and having the Mean Streets Slims on stage and the boats and stuff, that really kind of cemented it all in. So yeah, I think those are the 3 releases I would have to go with. No offense to anybody else on the label.
No, of course. Obviously it is a difficult question to be put on the spot with, but I think it's a solid list of 3. But yeah, speaking of Trends and Boylan, we're going to jump into We've already played the Trends and Boylan tune, haven't we? Have we played? No, we haven't. We're going to play the Trends and Boylan tune now. I'm losing track. Trends and Boylan, here we go. Turn up the volume. That was the name of the track I was trying to find. I'm running out of space on my screen. That's what's going on. I've got too many things flying across in the mornings. But there we go. We're going to get to this one now. Turn up the volume. Talk to me about this tune, please.
This is an exclusive for you guys.
Oh, is it?
Because, yeah, this is going to be on Trilogy Volume 2. So I just thought I'd give you an exclusive. I think I gave you a never exclusive as well, but obviously we'll get into that later on. But yeah, this one was made last year, and this one absolutely just turned over Outlook Festival to bits. It's been getting some really good support from our mates in the scene and stuff. And yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Wicked, man. We're going to get into this one now. We are live on Cubcam TV. We're on the phone with a man like Trends. This has been an amazing interview so far. Please do, new listeners, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Hit like on the video as well. Let us know how you're feeling about the tunes in the comments section as well. And don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave.
I'm here to turn up the volume. I'm here to turn up the volume.
Right then, that's all you're getting of that one. Exclusive business here on Cubcam TV. We are live on Brekky In The Cave. Man Like Trends joins us, and this has been a really, really enjoyable start to the day so far. First of all, again, thank you for coming on the show. It's been really, really interesting to hear through everything and how it's running. Let's talk about the future. What's on the way? What's on the way next for Trends?
Well, yes. So I've been doing so much label work and collabs, I've kind of forgotten about myself.
Always the way.
So, yeah, it's one of them ones. And obviously I became a father last year, and so I've just been adapted, and she's going to be one in a couple of weeks.
Oh, congratulations, man. Oh, what a time to lose signal. Oh, no way. What a time to lose signal. I don't know what's going on with my signal at the moment, but I'm going to bring him back. Out to everyone locked in right about now. We're dealing with the Brekky technicals, as we're going to start calling them. The signal of living underground is never a nice thing. But we are back on the line. Hopefully we can get contacted again. There we go. We're back in touch. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have a EP coming out on Beat Camp. There's a few Trends and Boylan's bits that's going to be floating around on the trilogies as well. We've just done a remix for Youngster.
Wow. And
Sim on Century Records. So that'll be coming out soon. There's a project that me, P-Jam, Boylan and DOK's just started called Legion. It's a quartet of all of us. We've come to make this sort of other sound, and we've just got finally let the cat out the bag. We've got our first release on Jay Kenzo's label.
Sick.
Yeah, so it's more on the dubby sort of route. It was a thing that we tried out. This was early last year. We had the tunes. We slept on the tunes for a whole year. We didn't play them at all, and we only played them at Outlook Festival last year. So they went down really well. Jay Kenzo caught a whiff of it, so we've got that to look forward to. And obviously, I'm looking forward to the Mean Streets releases, what we're coming out for the rest of this year. Obviously, Trilogy Volume 2 and Volume 3. They'll be dropping all this year. And the debut EP from Silas.
Sick.
Which will be the next release after this Trilogy Volume 1, which I am very, very, very excited about.
So, I mean, it sounds like you're really, really stacked up, I've got to say. Like, there's so much stuff on the way. I've had a question in the chat, which I do want to ask. How far apart will the Trilogy releases be, if you're able to say? That one comes from French.
Right, so basically the Silas EP is next, and this will be just digital only. And then Trilogy Volume 2 will follow after that. Then after Trilogy Volume 2, we have an EP from Boylan.
Wow.
And after Boylan's EP, you've got Trilogy Volume 3.
Okay, wow.
So hopefully Trilogy Volume 3 should be around December times. So if you can just gauge it from now till then.
Okay, wicked. So, I mean, that's a very, very stacked up 6 months. I mean, it's really exciting to look for, especially hearing, working with all of the more sort of dubby side, obviously working with Jay Kenzo, working with Century on that Youngster remix as well. It's sick to hear. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to see what's on the way, man. Again, thank you for jumping on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, man.
No worries at all. We're going to finish up with a bit of an exclusive, and it's definitely a tune that I saw a wild smile splash across my face when this one landed in my inbox to play on the show this morning. It is it's almost like it's a bit of a legendary tune, despite the fact it still hasn't been released.
Yeah, do you know what? It's got a mad sort of story to it, but just to cut it down, it was to do with management stuff. I'm not going to get into it, but that's not around now, so I can go ahead and release this. But yeah, it was a tune that was doing the round on the underground circuit, along with the instrumental, which you actually know about, which everybody knows about, which is out now. But yeah, I spoke to the MC about this, and he was more than happy. And yeah, this is going to be coming out in the next 3 weeks or so. Oh wow, so we're getting this one nice and early, hot off the press. This one, Rico Dan, Run Them Down, produced by Trends inside the building. This is it's been a wicked interview, sir. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak soon. Thank you for having me, man. You take care. You too, sir. One time, actually, before we finish up, what's the best social media tag for people to get you on? Trends DJ _ on the Twitter. And _ Trends Mean Street Rex on Instagram.
Good stuff. Right, we're going to get into this one now, and we will chat to you again very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere, guys. We are live on Cubcam TV. Coming up next, we do have Drinks on Me. He's going to be joining me on the phone for the next 30 minutes or so. We're running a couple of minutes late. We're starting to do that every day now, but to be honest, I don't really care. It's my show. I can do what I want. Let's get into this one then. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video as well. Come on, guys.
Our name. Boy, like you know me, pussy boy. Look up in my face. Scare up. Them know me. London City wall on. Ricker than again. Me better than corner need. Boy, I feel when the wall last speak. And the star me a blood clot me. Kill wipe on sight. Me not have time for blood clot speak. Inform when you chat to police this llama. That will make you fall to your knees. Me a muffin magnum like Siamese shoot. Boy, in a chest head fly go a east. Boy, dead when the wall all turn up. Shoot in a face, push knife in a stomach. You could have been 100 man. You tell you say 95 go fuck. Boy, you gotta fuck up. Me have the place knock up. Shoot in a leg, bear blood, them a cough up. One man this way, blood get shut up. Sim with jolly, knock your man strap up. Hey, 1 week than real off shot. Boy, head gone skin peel off that. Me not care about police, me must speed off that. See a real bad man and try fade off that. Take good shot to see what feed off that. Bust head up in a war, you want me locked that. That's how me like it. Big up bigger than your blood clot psychic. Me have to wonder, who never tried this? Check in your head, call up in your iris. Man, bad.
It got called for in the chat, so we're doing it. I'm about to jump on the phone with Drinks on Me, so bear with me while I get this phone call set up. We're going to run this one back for a minute or so, and then we're going to get into the phone call. So yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. It's Brekky In The Cave. Boy, I feel when the wall last speak. And the star me a blood clot me. Kill wipe on sight. Me not have time for blood clot speak. Inform when you chat to police this llama. That will make you fall to your knees. Me a muffin magnum like Siamese shoot. Boy, in a chest head fly go a east. Boy, dead when the wall all turn up. Shoot in a face, push knife in a stomach. You could have been 100 man. You tell you say 95 go fuck. Boy, you gotta fuck up. Me have the place knock up. Shoot in a leg, bear blood, them a cough up. One man this way, blood get shut up. Sim with jolly, knock your man strap up. Hey, 1 week than real off shot. Boy, head gone skin peel off that. Me not care about police, me must speed off that. See a real bad man and try fade off that. Take good shot to see what feed off that. Bust head up in a war, you want me locked that. That's how me like it. Big up bigger than your blood clot psychic. Me have to wonder, who never tried this? Check in your head, call up in your iris. Man, bad break before the 90s. Bad long time break before the 90s. Boy, you fit them from the blood clot psychic. Stab up your girlfriend, red up the 90s. That's why some boy, them not like me. Put me in a business, tell them to find me. Hey, what we do? Run them down. Bad man, I run them down. We are run them down. Bad man, I run them down. 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 Run them down. Bad man, I run them down. Hey, we are run them down. Bad man, I run them down. Right then, friends, that's all you're getting of that one. Out to Man Like Trends. There we go. We are live inside the building right about now. It's Brekky In The Cave, and I want to send a massive shouts out to Trends for jumping on the line with us there. Really, really cool interview. Do go and check out Trilogy when it drops this week. There's an article going up on 3000.co.uk, I believe, on Friday, perhaps. One day this week, there'll be an article up there. But we're on to the line with our second guest now. Drinks on Me. How are we doing this morning, sir? Are we feeling bubbly?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Are you normally up this early? I get the feeling you're this is a bit of an early start for yourself.
I've been trying to get myself into a bit more of a routine. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, this is about the time I normally wake up. So pardon my drowsiness.
Okay, cool. Obviously, with this interview, I want to try and get as much kind of in as possible. We've got some exclusives to play. We've got some forthcoming bangers. We've got loads of news to discuss. Obviously, we've got the Kiwi Cup to go into as well. I believe that's the voting on that for the next round of that's currently underway at the moment. So yeah, let's start off with a bit of background about yourself. So, Drinks on Me. First of all, where does the name come from?
To be honest, like I was looking at it more from like a marketing perspective as opposed to like, I don't know, anything else, like anything personal. So when people ask me like a sort of background to it, I don't really have one. It was just more of a name where you can sort of imagine people being like, oh, they're playing on that stage, whatever, like let's go and see Drinks on Me. Like it just sounded kind of, yes, it's kind of like an English sort of saying, I suppose. I mean, it's kind of easily rememberable, and I looked at ante up as like a reference. You know, like up the ante is kind of like an English like saying. So I thought, yeah, that's like actually easily rememberable. So that was sort of where Drinks on Me came from.
Awesome, man. I mean, it definitely is a name that people remember, and I think obviously there's so much sort of wordplay and sort of artwork you can build in around the name. It's definitely a name people aren't going to forget. Definitely.
Yeah.
So kind of again, going back a little bit further, then let's look into your sort of roots musically. What was the thing that made you want to start producing?
To be honest, for me, it was like doing sort of music lessons in school, whatever, sitting down with Logic. Like my school had some sort of like big like lottery grants that we got in Logic, and like all these cool packages, and like VSTs had studios, whatever. And I just enjoyed sort of dragging in loops that were like out of key, whatever. But like I just enjoyed just banging in some random stuff and seeing how it all sounded together. And then sort of the logical progression from that was to sort of go home, get GarageBand on my iPad, then work up, get it on Mac, then sort of start, downloading like Logic tutorials, whatever, on production. And then from then on, I sort of ditched Logic about 6 months ago for Ableton, which I'm enjoying a lot more. Like, I think sometimes you just need like a change up in your production process to stay creative, and I definitely think that Ableton helped me sort of do that, because I was running out of steam on Logic, I suppose. But yeah, that was sort of the timeline of it, going from making like really amateurish stuff, just on like the most basic sort of things, because anyone can get into music production now.
Yeah. I'm like, how
keep him with it.
What I was going to ask is, how do you feel about that sort of scenario now? Because we're definitely in a period of time, especially during lockdown, where so many people now will kind of go, I fancy making music, I fancy giving it a go. And now we're at a point where it is so, I don't want to say easy, because that kind of undervalues it a bit, but it's such an accessible thing to be able to do now.
Yeah, I mean, having it be accessible is like really good in my opinion, as long as people are just getting into it for the right reasons. Like, I've had enough people messaging me saying like, oh, I'm making a song, I want to get on night bass, like, and you kind of think, okay, cool, but like, are you making music because you enjoy doing it, I suppose? And I think I can hear in people's music when they send it to me, I can sort of hear, I know it sounds weird, but if someone's enjoyed the process of making it, or if they've done something just to sort of like make a song, do you know what I mean? And I think that is what ultimately will separate you, is having like that genuine passion and keeping it going. But I think definitely like encourage people to get into music production, because for me it's a great way of expressing like creatively what goes on in my head. Like, I think a lot of people that are in music production have some kind of thing that they want to express, or whatever, which is a good thing that it allows me to do. So definitely get into it if anyone's thinking of doing it.
Wicked, man. I mean, it's good to hear as well. I often, because obviously it's a question, it's a little bit of a baited question, I find, because when I've asked that to people before, and they've kind of been like, yeah, I just feel there's too many people doing it now, blah, blah, blah. Whereas yourself, you're a lot more along the lines of, yeah, do it, by all means, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, which is by far and away the correct answer to that question, I feel. But yeah, I mean, we've got loads of stuff to get through, we've got loads of music to do. I think we are going to overrun slightly on this show, but you know what, I don't care, because I'm having a good time this morning. But yeah, I mean, we've got some amazing music to get into. Like, obviously with your sound, you're definitely someone that is quite varied in the approach you take. Like, how would you define your sound currently?
To be honest, it's just kind of like sit down, see what happens. that is sort of what there is to it. I don't know. I mean, I've got my sort of musical influences in terms of like mix downs, the production, like quality of it all, but actually like the style that I'm going for, I guess the only way that I could sort of describe it is like something that's kind of flexible and fluid in the sense of like you can listen to it almost anywhere. Like, you could hear it in a club, but you could also just play it out sitting in the garden. Trying to combine sort of like some nice basses, drums, whatever, that kind of give it a danceability, but then also some sort of top layer of chords, vocals that give it a sort of like, chilled sense to it.
Definitely, man.
And I think that's what people do enjoy about the music that I'm making, in terms of like the feedback I've got. People are like, oh, I really like this, it's kind of like a car tune, and then you get people saying, oh yeah, I play this on the beach, and it's sort of like being flexible in terms of you got to sort of think of the psychology of the music when you're making it. Think, where could I see this being played, and then sort of go along those lines. But yeah, just trying to sort of do my own thing. Because like you say, a lot of people have an issue with how saturated the music industry's become, and I see that as sort of motivation to just sit down and make some weird stuff that's not really been done before, or try and get into like the grey areas of things that are like combining genres or doing something different or whatever.
Definitely, man. Making bangers. That's what's important. Making bangers is most definitely what's important. So we're going to jump into a banger right now. This is, of course, a track that we are going to be releasing on South Point, which I'm very, very excited to be doing. This one goes by the name of System. Talk to me about this tune. Talk to me about this tune.
I think in terms of like the backstory of my songs, this one is probably like the one that is kind of the funniest for me. Basically, I went up to Sheffield with my girlfriend because she was doing her university interviews, and she said, about 3 or 4 hours I'm going to be doing my interview, you can sort of walk around Sheffield, whatever. I was like, you're all right. So I took my laptop up and sat in the foyer of like the sort of hostel that we were staying in, and I made it in about 3 hours, and then on the way home I sent it out for mastering, and it came back by the time I got home, which was like an hour journey. So like I think it was the sort of most fun thing to create, because it didn't take very long, and it was like has a cool sort of backstory to it.
Wicked, man. I really like that backstory. It's very much a journey tune, you know what I mean? It's a tune you've put together through circumstance. If you hadn't have had to go up, it wouldn't have ever been made. So it's one of those moments.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, man. We're going to get into this one now then. This one, Drinks on Me, System. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. New listeners, please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of lockdown, so we've got a couple of weeks left to do it. We're at 319, I think, at the moment. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, hit like on the video as well. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's Cubcam TV, and Drinks on Me is on the line.
Call it doesn't mean much. Call it doesn't mean much. The system is fucked us up. Call it doesn't mean much.
The system is fucked up.
Call it doesn't mean much. The system is fucked us up. Call it doesn't mean much.
The system is fucked up.
The system is fucked us up.
The system is
The system, it fucked us up. Call it doesn't mean much. The system, it fucked us up. Call it doesn't mean much. The system, it fucked us up. Call it doesn't mean much. The system, it fucked us up.
Exclusive business, that one there, coming from Drinks on Me, going by the name of System. Forthcoming South Point business. If I had my South Point exclusive button, I would run it right now, but I don't have it on me, so I'm not going to, and that's how we run things here on Brekky in the Cave. But yeah, we're going to move forward now. Let's talk about Kiwi, because obviously this is the big thing going down at the moment. How have you found the Kiwi Cup so far?
It's been funny, man. Like, I think it's gone less from being a competition into more just like sort of networking and like meeting new people, whatever. Like it's been a really sort of cool atmosphere. It's not like any other remix contest where you like upload it to Skio and then like that's sort of the end of it, and then you get told, oh, have I won? it's like this whole knockouts, like front talk. It's been proper fun to like sort of participate in. I've enjoyed it.
Sick, man. I mean, with that whole sort of competition approach, is that something in general you kind of thrive off? Do you like the sort of competitive nature of it?
This round I didn't, because it was so stressful. Like, it's 48 hours, and to me that doesn't seem long. I mean, I've never really spent a lot longer than, I don't know, about 20 hours on a tune. So when I got told 48 hours, I shouldn't have been stressing, but I was. And I spent the first day making a sort of something that I was vibing, and I sent it out and everyone was like, nah, this isn't amazing. So that gave me proper stress. And then conductor was like, I'll be going on IG Live at 7 o'clock to talk to some of the semi-finalists, and I'm not even gonna lie, like, I just had a breakdown, man. Everyone else was sitting there playing like the sort of finished remixes, and I was sitting there going, I am just about to click new project. I was absolutely bricking it. Like, it was awful. Just discarded like my previous version, and then had to crack on with a new one. But fortunately, like, something half decent came out of it at the end of it, and people seemed to like it, so that was good. But yeah, it wasn't fun. Reading the comments of everyone just going, oh, he's having an absolute nightmare.
I mean, obviously, with the competition sort of side of things, you're always going to get these sort of more difficult sort of sounding scenarios, especially with especially in regards to obviously putting stuff together quickly and having to make stuff that is, of course, wary. You know what I mean? You have to be able to beat your opponent with what you're making. So where are we at in the competition now? Then what's going on with like voting and bits like that?
I think the voting for mine and Prozac's remixes starts tonight. But me and Prozac have sort of been having chats in DM saying, like, you know, last round we were sort of promoting it quite hard. Like, I'd message people saying, you know, feel free to vote if you want to, and sort of like, I wanted to get through, but now me and Prozac are just like, let's just let the public decide. Like, we can't be bothered to put in the effort to like sort of, you know, shotgun message people asking them for votes. So we were just like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah,
I think will.
I was going to say, that's definitely a bit of an issue with the sort of voting systems we find now. It does tend to be a thing of you're not really necessarily voting on credit a lot of the time. You're kind of voting on what person you want to vote for a lot of the time, rather than the tunes. So I mean, for yourself, is that did you find that like quite refreshing to be able to kind of go, yeah, we're gonna sit back and actually just completely let this one go?
Yeah, very much so, because I think like I work myself up a bit too much, especially with all the crud that me and Higo were firing back and forth. It was definitely getting to a point where we were sort of posting memes out of like sort of low-key bricking it, thinking this voting's close. Like, we weren't making memes for the fun of it. We were making memes for like genuine votes, and I was like, this is sort of like lost its sort of humour a bit now. It's just gone into like actual war, and we both want this too much, but now Prozac's like so chilled out with it, so that sort of benefits me. I do remember getting a bit worked up over like keeping on refreshing Twitter, whatever, but it's nice to now just sort of like sit back and relax, and what happens, man, because I think the way it's looking is the finalist is going to get Jemmy, so I think me and Prozac are both sort of like, well, it's all right, mate, you can do that one. I mean, the final, it's all right, mate.
I mean, we had Jemmy on the show quite recently to kind of talk through his sort of approach to it, and he was very much enjoying. From the impression I got from him was that he was very much enjoying the kind of layout of everything. He was enjoying the process, and I think more than anything else. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, all 8 of the people that have entered into it and have got there, you all now are going to know each other going forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's good. Like, we've got group chats, sort of more for the organisation of it, but I think there has been a good sort of connections have been formed from it. People that you wouldn't have previously heard of, like Resonant, who's got through to the semis, I hadn't heard of prior to the competition, but now like me and him have chats. Like, it was a good way of getting exposure for those artists, and also like artist to artist exposure is really good. Like, we'll all just support each other going forward, I suppose, now, which is a good sort of like side to it. And I also sort of like the fact that the conductor, who's I mean, one of the driving forces you could argue behind like new UK garage and stuff, like you think Conductor, Virgie, Mind of a Dragon, sort of, they're the ones really driving it forward. And just to be in a group DM where he's just talking to us so casually, it feels like the sort of structure of music, like the music industry as I used to know it, in the sort of EDM big room bassline scene. You can get sort of caught up in, I've got this many followers, they've got this many, whatever. Of course, yeah. And it's really nice to have that blurring of boundaries for a Conductor who's like a huge name, someone who I've looked up to for like years, just being so sort of casual about it, like enjoying listening to what these smaller producers are doing, which isn't always the case in the scene, which is really nice.
Sick, man. Well, yeah, it's really good to hear, and it's good to hear that it's not all just stress and war talk. There are like extra sort of side bits coming out of it as well. I'm always interested in hearing about these sort of like clash tournaments. There's definitely, I mean, from a personal perspective, there's definitely been like tournaments that I've been involved in that I've come out of the other side being friends with the people that I've clashed, and it's just quite a good way of bringing people together in multiple ways, I find. But yeah, we're going to move forward now into more fresh music. This one goes by the name of Obama. So talk to me about this presidential sounding tune.
I found like a sort of cool choppy vocal on Splice, just whacked it in and it sounded nice enough. And then I think it's actually saying "Oh Mama," but I was like, this kind of sounds like Obama and it's more memorable, so let's just call it that. But yeah, it was a fun one to make. I forgot which tunes I sent you, to be honest. So I'm a bit on the spot with having to recall this sort of backstory. But
that's all good though. That's all good. It means we can keep things fresh and sizzling as we go forward. So let's get into this one then. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Go on. I know you want to. Hit like on the video as well, and don't go anywhere. It's Brekky in the Cave. Friends, we're back inside the building. We're live on Cubcam TV. It's Brekky in the Cave. Drinks on Me joins us. That one, a little exclusive, going by the name of Obama. Really, really cool tune. Really nice, vibrant, colourful, synthy, fruity flavours. We'll say overall with that one. I get real summer feelings from that tune. And obviously, it is summer now. We are in the we're very much in the garage heyday, shall we say, of time of year.
Yeah, man.
So in regards to, obviously we've only got a few minutes left, so we're going to wrap up in a few minutes, but let's get through some of these quick fire questions. Like, do you find producing garage easier in the summer?
Oh yeah, I think I've gone from doing more 4/4 to now like 2-steppy stuff. I think it definitely does make you want to make some more like synthy, chordy, whatever, rather than hard bass and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's definitely easier.
Okay, cool. Next question from our quick fire round. This one comes from JD Samdi. When are we getting a beard tutorial?
I can give you one now. It's just Just stay in your house, mate. Just let it grow, bro. That's the key to it.
Oh, I love it. Right, next quickfire question. I don't know why I've decided to do a Q&A, but we're going to do a Q&A quickfire question. D&B or dubstep? Go.
Oh, D&B.
D&B. Okay, cool. Why?
Yeah. I think D&B is a lot more UK. I may be very misjudged in that, but like D&B is something that I've been brought up around more, like Boo, and sort of like chasing status. And then dubstep, I feel, has gone on a more American route, and I just prefer the UK scene to the American scene at the moment. Like it's a bit more like gritty, I think, whereas dubstep's a bit less easy to listen to.
Yeah, I feel that. That makes sense. Okay, what was it like remixing an AC Slater tune?
It was mad. I was on my way to work and just got an email and it said, "How'd you fancy being on a High 8 remix?" And I was like, yeah, pretty good, to be honest. It sounds good. And then just whacked a little idea down and finished it off in about 2 weeks. So yeah, it was quite refreshing to know that someone of that size.
Oh, you still there?
In terms of like following, wants you to do something for them, because that's sort of them saying, "I like what you do. I know."
Hello, you keep cutting out. Oh, what time to cut out. Anyway, we're going to do a quick ring back to finish up the show. There we go. More Brecknicles this morning. I might change my internet connection. I think it might be my router out there because it's making things go very, very slowly today. But yeah, let's have a little look at this. See if we can get him back on the line to finish up the show. I don't know what's going on my phone now. My phone's now deciding to go a bit mental. But you know what? That's part of the whole thing of doing things DIY from home at the end of the day. Right, let's see if we can get him back on the line. Hopefully he picks up, because I want to finish up with some more questions. We're getting more questions in the chat. Oh, he's on another call. Who else is he ringing? Who else is Drinks on Me ringing this time? I'm hoping to get a call through any second from him. Let's try ringing back again. I reckon he was probably ringing back. There we are. Hello. There we go.
Sorry about that.
No, it's my fault. Brecknicles and all that. That's what we're calling them now. So we've got another question in the chat. Dream collaboration.
I would say I'm actually on it at the moment. I've got one. The person that I would have named, we've actually got one going, which is crazy. I think it would probably be with a vocalist, to be honest, in terms of ones that I'm not actually doing. I don't know, someone like Zara Larsson, man.
Yeah, definitely. I think in that more sort of floaty garage realm, I'd say that you kind of work in. Someone like a Zara Larsson, a big pop vocalist. The amount of stuff you could do with it.
Yeah.
Like from a production perspective. Right, final question on today's listing. And this one's come from the chat as well. Can you dunk?
I mean, I'm 6'4", so fingers crossed.
I mean, I won't lie, I'm 6'4" and I can't, so we're going to put it like that.
Right. Yeah, probably not then.
All right, dude. Well, this has been a really, really fun one to do. Thank you for jumping on the line this morning.
Yeah, man.
And what we're going to do is finish up with a track called Your Mind. So talk me through this final bit.
Oh, that is coming out 26th of June. It's the most garagey thing that I've made, most sort of like commercial. I can't really. It was made such a long time ago that I can't really remember what sort of inspired it, but yeah, it's just a sort of cool track to make. Like, sort of, it goes into 4/4 at the end, which is kind of cool. Like going garagey first drop, 4/4 at the end, which was something I enjoyed doing. But yeah.
Wicked, man. Well, this is a perfect way to finish up. One time, what is the best social media tag for people to get you on?
Drinks on Me Music on Instagram. I'll respond to like anything on there. Don't really use Facebook or Twitter or whatever, so yeah.
There we go.
Instagram's probably the best.
All right then, dude. Thanks again for coming on the show, and we'll speak soon.
Nice one. Cheers. Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
No worries at all. Let's get into this one then. This one is Your Mind, Drinks on Me, exclusive business, and we're going to finish up with this one. Everyone, thank you for listening in this morning. We've had a very active chat, which has been really cool to see. I hope to see all of you in here again tomorrow morning. We're going to be joined by Dunman and Ayama, so it's going to be a really, really good conversation with both of those people. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hit the subscribe button, hit like on the video as well. Leave a comment on the video as well if you're watching back afterwards. And remember, you can check out the podcasts for the show via the link in the top right-hand side side of the screen, as you can see up there. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. We're up there. And you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud. As well as that, you can also follow myself on @KXVU on all the different social media platforms. That is Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, SoundCloud, all of those. You can find me on @KXVU. We're going to finish up with this one, as I said before, from Drinks on Me. This one is Your Mind. Don't go anywhere, guys. We are live on Cubcam TV. This has been Brekky in the Cave. Oh, yes.
You got me on your mind.